Asher. uh,
Hello, everyone. Hi, Kalpna.
And just at the moment that we go on, my children go up to door.
The JP
It's
is
Asher in the
needed as a dad. Yes, yes, yes. That's okay. We're here to hang out. We'll get there.
yeah, so I'm on kids duty, so I may drop in and out depending on how it goes. But hi everybody, I'm John Patrick Morgan. Some of you probably know me. This is my wife, Kalpna, and my friend and champion Heather, creating Goat. And we're going to talk today about the field. Heather mentioned it would be good if you told people what the field is because we've been doing these lives without you and we haven't really talked. What was your idea? Um, as time has gone by, it's become more things. Okay, so the word field represents so many things. Let me think if I see if I can remember all four of the things right now that I'm like, this is what it means. Besides the fact that it's an event, a 4 to 5 day intensive happening here in our home in Maui, what does the word represent? Uh, it's the field of our attention. It's the field of our energy. It is the field of our vision, and it is the field beyond right and wrong.
Mhm.
So the field beyond right and wrong really references Rumi, and that means a couple things. It means both the space of non-duality, kind of the spiritual transcendent existence, and it also represents. Can you guys hear me over the kids? Is it too
Yes, you're
loud?
good.
It's okay.
It's
And
fine.
and it also represents just like a place that's outside the bounds of civilized society, outside the ideas about what is appropriate and acceptable. Okay, like the socially constructed ideas about what is right or wrong, um, beyond the pale, we say. So that's that last one, that the field, that version of the field, the field of your energy that comes from the way of mastery in your house is the field of your energy and the expanse of your presence. The idea that wherever you go, you're in your house and where you meet somebody at a coffee shop and they come close and they're in your field of energy. They're in your house. They're in your being. Like however you keep your home is this kind of way that a metaphor for how you keep your being. And whenever whoever you meet is in that space. And so we create with our field of energy. In not just meeting people in person, but also online. Like this, when I shoot a video, I know that whatever I say is secondary to the field of energy that's emanating from me when I make that video. That really is the thing that has the most impact and influence. And if I'm writing an email, the field of my energy is having an impact on what I write in that email, the article, whatever. So the field of our energy is a huge factor in how we create everything in our life. Um, the field of our attention is just like, what do we have our attention on? What am I aware of in this moment? Where am I putting my attention? Is my field of my attention like oriented around my scarcity and the things I don't want, the things I'm afraid people might say about me, or is the field of my attention on what I would love, or what I'm grateful for, or what I love in another person? And then the field of the vision is specifically a place that you could put your field of attention. So whenever I'm living in the field of a vision, that means that the actions that I'm taking, the thoughts that I'm having, they're all actually emerging from living in a state of captivation towards a higher possibility for my life. That I'm like, either because I've meditated on it in the morning, or because I have, um, you know, journaled about it, or because I've got a slideshow running on my TV that like
Mhm.
activates it. But there's different ways to keep a vision present for me. And that when that's the case, then I say I'm living in the field of my vision. And so these are
Mhm.
different ideas around the word. This word field is just kind of like a central word that like brings together a whole bunch of pieces around creating everything that you want in your life. And so I'm excited about people. So that's why we've named the event that, just because that's as we were talking about before this call today, right? This is an evolution. Every event's an evolution. That's why people come to these multiple times. Like if they were here in Maui last year or they were with us in London last year, they might still decide to come because they know that this is going to be more and different than the last one was every single time. Um, and so this is the stuff that's in the evolution right now. It's the stuff where in the past year has grown for me, has been present for me, and that I'm using in service of my clients. And, you know, to be immersed in it for 4 or 5 days straight all day long is a very different experience for me and for all the clients than it is in our weekly sessions in Creator's Journey, or my private clients in our weekly sessions. So yeah, we said we'd also talk about that, but there you go.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Kalpna,
Yeah.
this is going to be your first time in circle with JP for 4 days straight.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I'm
See my
excited.
in an entirely new way.
Yes. I'm excited to hear how you see him differently after,
I'll
because
get the kids.
yeah, they're so busy. They're so busy. This is part of like the field outside of the norm, right? We're like, we're going to go live. The kids are going to run around, right?
Yeah, and just be okay with that. It's spring break.
It's spring break. They're here. And,
Spring break.
so much of what I love about this work is it prioritizes what's real,
Yeah.
right? It like, yes, it is so fun. JP and I love to intellectualize, right? It's like super fun talking about all the theory, but bringing it back down into what's real, into real life right here, right now, into our bodies, so that we get to keep the shifts, we get to keep the wisdom we gain. And
Right.
so, yeah, I find this to be an expression of that. The kids are running around, man. That's what's real today.
It is. Yeah. God.
And
Because the thing is, they know that both of us are on a call right now,
Oh
and this
yeah.
is novel
be mad
novel
at.
for them.
They're
And
gonna
so
be
they're
mad.
like, what is everything that I could do to intercept and interrupt? And like, if he tells me to stop doing that, I will stop doing that, but then I'll find something else that he didn't say not to do, and I'll do that. And it's just like,
Oh
that's the
yeah.
game. And it's like, just remember, that's what he's doing, John. He's just testing.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, just
And our
breathe,
kids are
breathe through
smart,
it.
right? They're smart.
Uh, yeah.
It's actually a beautiful new. I love when my kids get a next level of freedom. Like as I've been working more and more, my kids get to experience being under their own supervision more and more. And mine are old enough to do it, and
Yeah.
it's an opportunity, right? When I come to Maui for an event or come to London for an event with you all,
Yeah.
the rest of my family gets to grow in their, relationships with each
Mm,
other. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. And as I grow and as I let go of my self judgment, my kids have more and more freedom to be themselves.
Mm,
yeah,
You know, I'm
yeah.
not
yeah.
I'm not restricting them because their behavior isn't okay. And so
Yeah.
they get to express themselves
And really like decide for themselves when, my 11-year-old likes to stay home by himself. That's still like special when he's like got the whole house to himself. And I imagine him at home being like, what do I want to do? Right?
Yeah.
Like what? When his brother's here, his brother is up in his face. They're always
Yeah.
Right.
playing,
Right.
but they get
Yeah.
a little more inner authority
Yeah.
Right.
going on.
That's like,
Yeah.
remember that scene in Home Alone where they're first like, when he first realizes the parents are gone, and he just like goes crazy and like eating all the food that he wants and sugary stuff, and yeah, and like shaving with his
Right.
dad's shaving cream. Yeah, that was funny.
Right, right. Well, now we're all grown-ups and we have all, right, the freedom and inner authority. And so much of this work is learning to actually exercise that, to notice, to notice, like, for me, noticing over and over and over and over again, Asher, hi.
He can't hear you.
He can't
Headphones
hear
in.
me, right, but I waved at him. Noticing over and over again where I'm limiting myself by my stories about what's okay and what's not okay,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's what we get to
Mm-hmm.
do as grown-ups.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Rumi.
You
Hi,
guys have a
Rumi.
chat. I'm gonna just give these guys something to do.
Go have fun. All right, I'll turn JP off.
Oh my god.
There we go. That was so fun. So this is such a cool thing to do because this is where people are invited to for the event. They're invited into your home, right? And so look, they're seeing your office with, which is where you are hanging right now, and then they're seeing like that's what JP is. That's dad life. That's what's going on.
Right. And the kids won't be there.
And the kids won't be there.
They won't
Yes.
be there. They're going to be at school.
Yes, yes, yes. So we're gonna get to have our adult time. Well, I am most excited about watching you and JP together. I'm excited about I've been coming to these events. It's been what, like a year and a half now. And each one is an evolution. Each one is its own vibe because of the shifts. JP's always evolving, right? I'm always evolving. You're always evolving
Yeah.
because of the shifts, but also because of the different group of people that are there. We could literally follow the same topics. We could start the conversations in the exact same way, right,
Mhm.
as leaders, and have it be a completely different experience because of the people that are there and where they
Right.
are in their
Yeah.
lives
Yeah.
while they're here.
Yes.
So it's going to be, if you've been to the events before or if you've done some of his other programs, this is absolutely going to be a unique experience that's going to offer you something that isn't going to be available ever again, right? It's like just this group. This is going to be unique.
Yeah, it's going to be unique. I mean, because it's here as well,
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
in our house,
Right.
and I will be there. It's not something that I can do all the time, especially like events in London. You know,
Right.
I
Right.
I have to be there with the children. I have to be with the children. Here we have school. Um,
Yes.
yeah, and all three of us have a different perspective on the way that
Yeah.
we see things, and
Mhm.
we will be able to share that with everyone.
Yeah.
Everything will be, slightly differently nuanced, and so I feel that's going to be quite special because even though um, John and I, we always get to the same end result. Our paths are sometimes different, and the way that we
Absolutely.
see things, and the
Yeah.
way that we do things for ourselves,
Right.
um, and so I think it'll be great to offer that to everyone.
Oh, absolutely. Just invaluable,
Right.
really. Absolutely invaluable. Having seen how the same people have come to multiple events and used each event differently in their lives, like then adding different leaders, different
Yeah.
topics. It's just going to be absolutely magic. Absolutely magic. And I love, 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 in the past events I've led calls beforehand, preparatory calls, and then we do a
Mhm.
call afterwards, like a week, two later, to see where people have shifted. And
Mm.
I love watching, like, they look different, they feel different. Sometimes they come back with stories of, like, they went home and made a shift with their husband, a shift with their wife, a shift with their children, new creativity in their business. It's so wonderful to, like, unleash people. I remember at the last Maui event, we were all sitting, the event was over, we were having lunch together on Sunday afternoon, and we're all sitting there and we had just gone so deep together. And then, like, we're sitting there and I'm listening to the conversation and everyone's, like, dreaming about what they're going to do next in their business. And the energy of it was not like a business meeting or even, like, I don't know, corporate brainstorm. It was like kids sitting around planning a lemonade stand. Like, the energy of it, right, was just
Yeah.
pure excitement and joy.
Joy.
And, like,
Right.
what am I going to do next?
Yeah.
And when I see people get to that place,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's freedom.
That's right. Yeah.
That's when you can take action
Yeah.
so freely. And that's when your creativity is flowing. And that's
Yeah.
when your energy is magnetic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It should be about joy and excitement. Your business
Yeah.
should be about joy and
Your
excitement.
business should be about joy. Your relationship should be about joy and
Yeah.
excitement.
Totally. Yeah. Your life should be
Yeah.
joyful, right? I mean,
Yes.
we have our ups and downs, and that's living, and I can find joy in every moment,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Absolutely. It's a beautiful, like, I am so happy for life to challenge and grow me so that I can see, like, what a human being can do, right? I'm not here,
Yeah.
like, um asking to swallow more than I can handle in any given day, but I love being around people who also feel that way, that are glad to be stretched and grown by life, and that choose to come to places like this to stretch and grow into conversations that most people on the planet aren't having, right?
Yeah.
Most people aren't looking at their business and say, how can I do this more joyfully? How can I
Yeah.
do this through love? How
Yeah.
can I feel more free? Like, those are radical questions to ask yourself.
That's right. And to know that your business is going to grow when you grow. Instead of
Yeah.
like, oh, how am I going to like work it for it to expand, instead thinking, how am I going to grow for my business to
Yes.
expand? And that's
Yes, yes,
different,
yes, yes.
right?
Oh, absolutely. This is the conversations we have here are absolutely foundational to who you are as a person,
Yeah.
as a human being. And yes, that will grow your business. Yes,
Yes.
that will grow your relationships.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
that will just, yeah, grow what's possible for you in every area of life, which I'd rather have those conversations, right? About love itself, about my relationship with me, about how I see the world, like how loving of a lens am I perceiving the world through,
Yeah.
and what's possible when I turn that up one notch,
Right.
2 notch, 3 notches, 4 notches. Because it
Yeah.
it affects everything, not just one little area of life. We're not here doing tips and tricks,
That's right. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. How
Yeah.
much more loving can I be? And how much more can I allow myself to be loved? Right. Because
Oh,
it's not just
yeah.
about giving, it's about receiving. And some people are awesome at giving, but they find receiving to be a little bit hard. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so it's about allowing yourself to 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 open and allow to receive in every single way. Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
I think a lot of that is, I mean, I always circle it back to self-worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, am I
Absolutely.
worthy to receive? Am I worthy to receive this enormous bump in income? You
Yeah.
know,
I love when we get like beyond that conversation. I love when we get down to the point like, what's my value? Well, what's the value of the leaf on the tree over there?
right?
Like,
Yeah,
it's not a thing. It's like they're here. What do they want to do? So I'm here. What do I want to do? What do you want to do? What do we all want to do?
yeah,
Let's put our energy there,
yeah.
right? Let's let it flow through us. Whatever the universe is asking to create. How do we say yes?
How do we say that's right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep getting this channeled message, um, which for me is really beautiful. And it always says, um, learn to enjoy every minute of life
Yeah.
and say yes to every minute of life.
Say yes, whatever is here. There is no part of life, right, that shows up that isn't supposed to be here.
That's right. Yeah.
It's all here to be used. It's all
Yeah.
here to
And
be
but
used.
we go into so much resistance that this isn't supposed to be the way it's coming. And I don't like it like this. And no,
Yes.
you have to say yes. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. You get to, man. You
yeah.
get to.
Yeah.
You
So
get to.
I would love to talk about this, but I really, really do want to focus on something that I haven't been privy to because I haven't been at the events for, longer
Yeah.
than about 2 hours. And that is
Right.
the change that happens through conversation. So it's not just going to be, so people are used to just having maybe a 20-minute conversation with John,
Right.
but they're going to be here having 4 days or 5 days of conversation.
Yes.
So, how is that different? Like, how do you see that as being different? I know that's
Yes.
like a massive loaded question.
Well, on a micro level, you get to break down. So, at one event, we went through the self-forgiveness process, piece by piece, like moment by moment. Each little step of the process, we went all the way deep into it and explored all the nooks and crannies of what was going on with us at each level,
Mm-hmm.
right? And by the end, we had new identities, new statements of who we were. Not they were realizations. They aren't like we picked a word and then I want to be that now, so I'm going to repeat it a
Yeah.
bunch of times. No,
Yeah.
we cleared out everything that was in the way,
Yes.
right? And then out emerged
Yeah.
something new. So we get to go so deep into each iteration of the work, right?
Right.
And then on more of a zoomed out level, what happens when you have a 4 day long conversation with the same people is that it gets deeper as you go and everyone gets more free and open as you go. And because of that, you're able to, as with each layer you go deeper, not only are you excavating more and discovering more love and all of that, you're learning to hold a deeper conversation than most people ever have in their lives. And so
Right.
with each day, right, if we can talk about a layer deeper now
Yeah.
and then you develop freedom at that layer, right?
Mm.
You can go home and speak at that layer with your spouse,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so as the conversations flow throughout the time, you get to get into conversations that are soul deep, that are talking about the most spiritual but basic things, right?
Mm-hmm.
About how we be in the world. And then you can take that's a skill that you develop.
Right.
right? People leave able to hold deeper, more nuanced, more useful conversations that create change, right? Than they were when they came. And that's something you get to keep forever,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're not scared. Oh, I can't talk about that. That touches my shame. And it's like, instead of, once you've been in conversation with us and we watch our eagerness to explore the shame, and then you see how we release it, then like you're eager to play with that at home too. And in
Right.
your relationships with your coworkers or your clients or whatever. And like, that's what has you show up so loving,
Right.
because you're not rejecting any,
Part of yourself.
right, part of you, and you can really hold that space. So that's one of the reasons I just love 4 days straight together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you have like, I mean, 4 days of coaching. And
So how it goes
Mhm.
is we come together and up comes a topic, right? So JP's introducing whatever, he's introducing to us to get us thinking, right? And he offers a new way to think of things. And then he'll get into conversation. It gets to the point where people are having questions, and he gets into conversation, and he's coaching people, right? And then after we've excavated that part of things with a few people, we break off into pairs. And then
Mhm.
you have that conversation with somebody next to you, right?
Right.
So you're literally practicing the depth of conversation and applying
Mhm.
it to yourself, and then supporting
Mhm.
somebody else in it over and over and over
Mhm.
throughout our time together. So this is an interactive thing. Everyone will be in conversation with JP and you and me and whoever they want to talk to,
Yes.
right? And they will also be in conversation with everybody else here,
Yes.
right?
Right.
So you're creating deep connections with the entire group. And by the end, you can imagine by the end, you've
Mhm.
had an intimate conversation with each person here.
Right.
Each
Yeah.
person here has contributed to your growth, and
Mm.
you have contributed. We only want people who are interested in that, really.
Right.
If
Yeah.
if you would love to have an entire group contribute to co-create your growth, and if you would love to contribute,
Yeah.
right, and co-create everyone else in the group's growth with them collectively by sitting in the circle and but also actually being in conversation with all these
Mm.
other people, like
Yeah.
that's the best humans can be for each other, man.
Right.
And
Really.
that's what we're here for.
That sounds
Yeah.
so powerful. I love that.
It's a good time. It takes something, and it's a good time.
Yeah, it's going to take a degree of vulnerability as well.
Yeah. It's I call it like an intimate honesty,
Right.
right? That you get to have with yourself anew
Mhm.
and with others. And it's so, for me, if I didn't know everybody was there for it, for exactly that, I'd feel nervous, right? But
Right.
I've come over and over, and that's just what everyone's showing up for.
Yeah.
Nobody here's a newbie. They're like,
Right.
heck yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So,
You know?
I mean, that's, everyone who will be there is someone who's been already doing this work.
Well,
So,
they've like, some people that come to the event have not been participating or, attending JP events or courses, or like it might be their first time signing up for something, right? In this world. But no one has ever come that isn't like self-aware, right? Like that
right.
doesn't observe their thoughts.
Yeah.
And um like, to keep up with JP's videos, right? If you go to his YouTube channel, like there's a depth
Yeah.
of interest you have in the human experience and in understanding yourself that you already have it, or you wouldn't, be enrolled in this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all deep, intelligent, wise people,
Who are
right?
who are willing to be accountable.
Who are willing to be accountable, and they are up to big stuff.
Good.
They're
Yeah.
up to helping people.
Mm.
They're up to creating amazing things in the world. They're up to stretching themselves farther than they have before, right? And they're interested in you doing the same,
Mm.
right? We all get invested in each other, and it's pretty special, and you get to keep it, right? I have lots of relationships with people that I met through this work, and yeah, it's beautiful. It creates life. Man, the people we have in our lives contribute to its beauty more than anything else, I think.
And you can continue having these conversations, the depth of these conversations with these people after the event,
Yeah.
you become
Oh,
friends.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, my best friend Andrea, she's watching. Hi, Andrea. We speak every day. We're like the level of conversation we have is like we're coaching each other every day, right? I have like a coach in my pocket,
Yeah.
right? I just spoke to Alan yesterday. We keep each other updated on our lives, and as soon as we pick up the phone and talk to each other, we're like we're just starting the conversation at a level, right? Like,
Yeah.
how are you
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Right?
That's not the level of conversations you have normally with people around you. Right.
Right.
And I feel like it's really important, especially when you are up to doing great work, to
Yeah.
surround yourself with people who are living at a higher level, at a higher
Yes.
vibration. It's very
Yes.
important, because otherwise you end up just slipping down, right? And you got to
Yes.
hold yourself up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Being with people, especially say you're like a coach and you want to charge $100,000 a year. Say you're whatever the big dream you have. If you are looking to accomplish the extraordinary, you are going to need to think in extraordinary ways. You're going to need to behave and act and have habits that are extraordinary. And saying, the first time I spoke the fee that I was excited to charge to a friend who wasn't in the coaching world, she said, I guess you should go talk to Hillary Clinton. Right? Like, and so it was a joke, and she was honoring my like you should actually go coach Hillary Clinton, right? She was saying
Yeah.
you're amazing, but it was outside of her understanding, right, of what
Right.
was possible. And so being in a room and maintaining conversations with people who you tell them your dreams and they're like, yeah, 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 go do
Yeah.
that you're literally living in a different reality,
Right. Yeah.
right? We're co-creating a reality where the extraordinary, we're a thumbs up, we're a hell yes, we're a how can I help, we're a let me know how it goes, right? Keep me updated, because it's a level of, it's not just belief in each other, it's a knowing, right?
Yeah.
That yes, that's possible for you.
Yeah. Because it's like they see you,
Yeah.
right? You go into a circle and you connect at a very deep level, and they see you and you
Yeah.
see them, and
Yeah.
they see that you are able to do it because they see you, right?
Yes. 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 It's a room where no one will deny your power.
Mhm.
It's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And that is rare.
Yeah.
That is rare. Yeah.
This makes me want to cry now.
It's beautiful what we can be for each other, isn't it?
I know. Yeah.
It's so beautiful what we can be for each other.
It's
And
difficult to do things like this alone.
no, it's not a thing. I don't think it's a thing to do it
Yeah.
alone.
You have to be in support of each other, and
Hmm.
grow together. It's really important. I mean, this is the beauty of a relationship, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I,
Yes.
I like, I'm seeing John as his greatness, and
Yes.
and we're only human, so sometimes you go, I'm not sure, and it's like, well, no, I'm reflecting your greatness to you. Yeah.
No, just Calvin, just that, like Sam and I are in the practice of seeing each other's greatness, right? You and JP are in the practice of seeing each other's greatness. But in truth, we get in this circle, and that, guess who shows up in each of us when that's what we see in each other? Like
Yeah.
having a conscious relationship, right? It doesn't have to be limited just to your
No,
intimate partner,
no, not at all.
right?
Right.
Yeah. You can sit in a circle, and that's an agreement we can all make, is to, right? To hold each other in our highest power. And
Yeah.
we would speak what we were creating, our vision, and we would speak it in the first person on the preparatory calls at the other events. And I said, now, this is, you're introducing yourself to people as your vision. That's how they see you now. That
Mm,
they're just meeting you. That's their reality of you. They're the first ones. They
yeah.
like hold the seed of your future
Mm,
inside of them now. It's a special thing to do for each other.
definitely. Oh,
Yeah. It's super special. So thank you so much for hosting us. This is like such an opportunity.
No, it's going to be
Yeah.
so joyful, and I'm really honored, really, really honored. It's such an honor to have people here and
Yes.
go through that and be in that
Yeah.
space
Yeah.
and get to be part of it as well.
Yes. Yes. Oh, so it's going to be so magical having you there. Before we go, I want to give people a little bit of just like logistical information. So if you have any questions, right, if you'd love to join us, and you have questions or you're just not worried, you can sort out whatever it takes, right, to get your booty to Maui, have a call with us. Send me a message. I love helping people get into their certain yes that they're coming, because what happens in that conversation is they overcome the thing that's been keeping them from doing all the epic shit in their life that they want to do.
Yeah, right.
So use this for that. Like the transformation can start with your yes, right? It's my transformations each time starts with my yes to come,
Yeah,
because it is an extraordinary thing to do for yourself, right?
yeah.
To fly across the ocean and yeah, gift yourself this time.
And you join the field. I believe that you join the field of the event as soon as you say yes. So
Yeah.
shifts start happening before you even get here,
Oh,
right?
yes. You're a different person once you've said yes to something, right? Once you've said yes to yourself in that way,
Yes. Yeah.
you'll start showing up differently places. So, yes, if you have questions, reach out. We're happy to have a conversation. And the events at JP and Kalpna's beautiful home, the Happy Farm in Maui. And there are people who right now are organizing like an Airbnb to share.
Yes.
Okay, so people are excited to share rental cars. They're excited to share places to stay, right? So that we can all be together. And oh, it's a JP. Hey
Hey,
there.
I've been
Hey,
listening.
you've been listening.
Yeah, well, while I was with the kids, I was playing 20 questions with the kids while I had my AirPods in and listening to you guys. So
Yeah, how'd we do?
yeah, it was awesome. Thanks for sharing it all.
Yeah.
I am excited for people to, like what you said right at the end, that the moment they make the decision, they're in the field.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen that so many times, haven't we, Heather? Like when
Yeah.
people sign up, they start creating differently in their life. They feel the power of that commitment, not just them putting the money down, but knowing that they're giving that much time and then traveling that much far. It kind of like, it instigates a seriousness about the journey that they're on in their life. And it contributes to it right away. And the same with you when you've committed, because Katmo goes to her own personal development events, and
Yeah.
whenever you sign up, you're just like over the moon and on a high until the event.
Well, it's like that's how you are now. That's who. Every time I'm like, that's who I am. I go to Maui for personal development events, right? That's who I am. I go to London for, and you get to just.
That's something that you said to me the other day, actually, that stood out for me, that because I am so not like this, what you said, but I can see how people are like that, where it's like they're hesitant to give themselves permission to indulge in something like that, like because they see it as an indulgence.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, flying halfway around the world and going to Hawaii just to like spend days in conversation because I find that like interesting. Can't do that. That's not reasonable.
I can't invest in my own development and have this dream that I'm gonna create this business and da 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 da. I can't say yes to that. There's no way.
People, I mean, they don't actually consider it that way. That would start you taking in the direction of, well, it does make sense. They kind of make it sound like it's just some luxury that doesn't really provide and create value for them.
Right.
Which is a way of like, I think distancing oneself from the reality of how it is valuable. Yeah. And kind of staying in that idea that I don't get to have everything that I want in life. Mm-hmm. And so kind of part of the reason I feel that I want to, invite people to our home in Maui, whether it's somebody coming for a work trade or a client that flies out to do a couple-day private intensive and stay in our home, or these annual intensives we're doing for larger groups. Like, it doesn't make logistical sense to just have it here. Like, I could just fly to the mainland. It makes more sense. But part of the reason is I want people to feel what it's like to do something that's a little bit luxurious and to just give themselves that like time alone in Hawaii
to be like, that's okay, because it sets a precedent for your life, and you start to
Yes.
give yourself permission to live a luxurious life and to lead by example for that. And then once you start doing that, then you start doing it more. And then you start calling out a higher level of greatness for yourself. Like from the simplest thing, like remember when we had no money and living in London and we had a vision board of like with Whole Foods?
Yes.
One day we'll be able to shop at Whole Foods. Yeah, which has been our part of our life now for over a decade. But we at that time would still do things that we could barely afford to do to taste it. We'd go to that fine dining restaurant because Caltna got a special deal and we're going to dress up and go and like just enjoy it as if we have the wealth or the richness to afford this. And every single time we did that, it gave us a taste of our future, and it contributed to staying in the field of our vision and showing up in the world with the energy and the commitment to bring that into fruition.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a living example of the vision board. So these little micro things kind of create the embodied experience that bring you into the macro of that being your life. So I just came
It is your life once you say yes.
Yeah.
Right. Once you say yes, it is your life. Yeah.
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 All right. Until next time.
Until next time, thanks for hanging out. Again, anyone have questions, reach out to any of us, and we're excited to see you in the field.